Fam, what's going on? Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys joining me for this midday report. A couple items of news that I wanted to go over with, and I hope you guys are off to a great start on Monday. Thank you very much for joining Ty Hayes and myself this morning right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys being here. I wanted to talk about, and we were talking about this morning, is kind of the overall impact of Germie Bernard and what he brings to the Alabama Crimson Tide. And when I started diving back to his highlights and looking what he brings to the table, I guess I kind of undervalued his overall impact that he would have with the Alabama Crimson Tide. So when you look to Germie Bernard, who transferred from Washington to Alabama, and as we've discussed many times, what Coach Kalen DeBoer has been able to do in terms of bringing high-performing impact players into the transfer portal, he's done just that. And Germie Bernard is a fantastic addition to this Alabama football team. And I think his impact is going to be much greater than originally thought, at least by me. I thought, okay, you bring in another wide receiver, but it is a loaded wide receiver room. Then we saw for A-Day, goes off and has just 3 receptions for 122 yards, right? This is him right here running it back on the bottom of your screen. A longest of 52 yards. And you could immediately see kind of the cohesiveness with him and Jalen Milroe, right? I think that you saw something special right there. I think when you look to Germie Bernard and what he brings to the table, you see that he's certainly a gamer. And what I mean by that is you put the football in his hands and he's able to make you miss. He's able to do a lot just with his ability to just be a game breaker, right? Punt returner, kick returner. And I know, there might be some other players that are maybe more suitable to be a kick returner, punt returner, whatever the case is. But you got to like what he brings to the table. I was pleasantly surprised to see just how talented he was in an already stacked room of wide receivers, right? So, again, the 122 yards for A-Day, completely balls out in that game and caught my attention. And now you look to kind of the trio that Alabama has at the wide receiver position, right? Kobee Prentice, Kendrick Law, Bernard. Think about this. Kobee Law Bernard. Sounds like a law firm, right? So, and then we can't forget about the fact that Alabama has the wide receiver position, Emmanuel Henderson, Caleb Odom, right? And Ryan Williams. And think about it. Amari Jefferson and Rico Scott, those guys aren't even here yet. So that wide receiver room coached up by Jamarcus Shepard, probably one of the most dynamic wide receiver coaches. And I think he's much more than a wide receiver coach. I think he's an assistant coach, an head coach, if you want to call him that. Look at this guy. Germie Bernard is certainly fast enough. And he has there's football fast, there's track fast, right? Then there's football fast. Put the pads on. He just has it. He is fast enough, 100%. So depending on how they utilize Germie Bernard and how they get him the football, you're looking at, I think, what could be a 1,000-yard wide receiver. And I think when we talked about this earlier on my show, you talk about the rideouts. What did the rideouts have? Well, they had game-breaking ability. Every single time they touched the football, they were able to do something at the highest level, which I think Germie Bernard can do for the Alabama Crimson Tide. So that room is completely stacked. And I still feel that the running back room is overall the most talented on this team. I think the quarterbacks as well have a lot of talent and most importantly, experience. But that wide receiver unit, despite, I think Kobee Prentice and Kendrick Law, those are kind of your bets of your room. I think kind of the sky is the limit for this wide receiving. Look at him. He's a monster, right? So just wanted to kind of open up my midday report with Germie Bernard and kind of highlighting what he brings to the table, because I like I said earlier, I think I kind of undervalued him being added to Alabama. But as soon as I started diving more into what he brings to the table, he is an absolute key piece to the transfer portal additions under Coach Kalen DeBoer. So kind of wanted to start there. And I want to hear from you guys as well. I mean, what do you think about Kobee Prentice, Kendrick Law, Germie Bernard, Caleb Odom, Emmanuel Henderson, Ryan Williams? Those are just a couple of the wide receivers that are here, right? And I like in this high school setup how Germie Bernard was used everywhere. Punt returner, kick returner, at running back, little quarterback. The guy is an athlete, right? So just kind of high pointing there as the midday report moves on. There was a couple other pieces football-wise that I want to talk about today. So Kobee Minor, who is a prospect that was supposed to be here today, in fact, he is no longer going to make a visit to Alabama this week, I don't think. So we'll keep you posted on Kobee Minor. And that could be very well because Deshaun Jones, as you saw, is expected to commit with the Alabama Crimson Tide. So still digging more into Kobee Minor, but I know he is not on campus today as we initially thought. Another prospect that has been on the radar for the Alabama Crimson Tide is Jackson Lloyd and Steve Whitfong, who now works for On3. I think there's like one of the best in the business. I think he is the best in the business. And if you've ever been predicted by Whitfong, it's called like a Whitfong bomb because he doesn't miss. And Jackson Lloyd is a guy that is ultra talented, 6'6", 280 pounds. And I like this. He's out of the West Coast. I believe he's out of California. So what Coach Kalen DeBoer has been able to do in terms of the recruiting the nation, he's done that. He's going out to California. He's gone to New Jersey. He's gone to Baltimore. He's going all over the country. And most importantly, he's taking care of his own backyard too. I mean, we saw him with the flip Antonio Coleman, Derek Smith out of Selma. So he continues to load up. So kind of waiting on a announcement at some point in time for Jackson Lloyd. I don't think I saw when he's going to commit to the Crimson Tide. As we continue with the Midday Report, I knew this was coming. Honestly, I really did. I felt like when you talk basketball, that you talk about how good this basketball team could be, right? You see that, and Dwayne, I didn't see Joe Klatt's top 25 on football. I'll have to look that up. I'm not sure what he was. What's up, Matthew? I appreciate you being here inside the comment box. Aaron, good afternoon to you as well. And I said this morning in my morning show. I'm not surprised to see Alabama now earning rankings as the number one preseason basketball team. What happened yesterday, and I don't think we've still been able to grasp the impact and the addition of Cliff Amore from Rutgers. Like, that was a slam dunk piece, literally. Like, getting your rim protector was the ultimate that Alabama had to secure. After Christian Bediako left, Alabama didn't have a big man. They didn't have a big man last year. I don't think Nick Pringle is he's a big man, but he's not a big. There's a difference between a big man and like an ultimate rim protector, somebody who could just own the paint. And that is certainly what Amore is going to bring to Alabama. So to see them with the number one, just imagine where are you going to rank them if Mark Sears comes back, right? That's just another vote. And of course, these are like the way too early rankings. And this is what Coach Saban used to refer to as rat poison. But this is it. And I'm not surprised to see it. You knew that the rat poison was going to come eventually. And this is a sign that people are taking this Alabama basketball program for real, right? 100%. Think about this. Cliff Amore, he turned down, $2 million to come to Alabama to play for Nate Oates. They're here. This wasn't a 1-year type deal. Like, this team is going to go to all lengths to bring home Alabama's first ever national championship in basketball. So not surprised to see Alabama ranked number one in these early preseason polls or whatever they are. It's just rat poison. And that's how it's going to be for the Alabama Crimson Tide moving forward when you talk about basketball, because they are that talented. An ultra-talented basketball team with an ultra-talented roster by what is the next up-and-coming college basketball coach in the land, in Nate Oates. Securing Nate Oates was monumental as well. Greg Byrne, his legacy, honestly, are the coaches that he had to replace, right? And of course, it'll have to do with who replaced Coach Saban, right? Kalen DeBoer seems like a damn good fit. But what he is able to do in terms of resurrecting the overall basketball program, man, he could probably go and be the athletic director anywhere else. But to have that insight and that foresight, to be able to go watch Buffalo, right? When Nate Oates was at Buffalo in the past, like, it wasn't too long ago, 10 years ago, that Nate Oates was a high school basketball coach. So if you're a high school coach out there, just think, when you're thinking about your career 10 years down the road, are you thinking that you could be at an Alabama basketball type program, have the best basketball? This is crazy to see. If you're like, you are not, if you've always been an Alabama basketball fan, like, look at this. You're going to be on the front of, I don't even know if they print the magazines anymore, I would believe, but, during the summertime when we go and look at all of our, magazines, you're going to start to see Mark Sears, Cliff Amore, right? Wrightsell, Grant Nelson, right? Some of the transfers coming over. This team absolutely loaded. So, yeah, I just wanted to kind of open up that segment on my Midday Report thinking about, kind of this Alabama basketball team and kind of the preseason number ones, because I'm not surprised to see it. This team is ultra talented, and kind of sky's the limit for Nate Oates and everything that they got going. I'm not going to be here for long. I just wanted to come and quick do a midday report. If you guys are around the call line, I'll leave it open just for a minute, 205-850-1994. But those are kind of the points that I was talking about. Germie Bernard, the overall impact to him, and the on-3, the way too early college basketball rankings. If you're just joining us, kind of skip to some points. Jackson Lloyd is a player that Alabama has been forecasted to land. He's in the class of 2025. He's an offensive lineman, 6'6", 290 pounds. And then Kobee Minor is no longer visiting today. Does that mean that he's canceled all visits to Alabama? He's out of Indiana. I don't know. We will keep you posted on that. And same thing with Khalil Jacobs, who was just at Auburn. He's the linebacker out of South Alabama who postponed his visit for Alabama, said he's going to come this coming weekend. So as news rolls in, we'll keep you posted right here at Bama Football on YouTube. This was just a midday report. I appreciate you guys being here. Definitely drop me a like, drop me a comment inside the comment box, and I will get to you as news comes. Midday report right here with Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your Monday. Coach Sean, Coach Jarek, tonight at 7 p.m. right here, Bama Football on YouTube.